Hello. Hello, everybody. Let me just find a good spot for the music. Yeah, something right around there's probably good. How we doing today? How we doing? Nice chill day. Like the title suggests, we're gonna be doing just a bit of art stuff today. Definitely different from what I've been doing normally the last couple of weeks, but this is something that I definitely needed to do. And this is technically satisfying one of my September goals, so I am doing this because of you. So, with that said, say hello to the next VTuber project. This was a character whose name I had teased a little while ago during the September. I did a little work on her already, but this character in particular, her name is Oranda Nadeshko. She is going to be, hopefully, she is going to be another adoptable model where she'll have her model finished. And on top of that, she's going to have basically a starter's kit of sorts for VTubers, where she's going to have her model, a couple of pieces of posed art that I'll probably work off camera just because I can work faster that way. And then she'll also have a nearly full spread of like streaming graphics. So like how you see here with my setup, I've got a goal bar, I've got like a custom font for a lot of my stuff, logos, social media icons. So I really wanted to go the whole 9 yards. I'm really starting to like this idea of making these pre-made model packages that are catered towards basically marketing one whole character without having to like buy or purchase or commission all these different parts to a process. You can get one all at once. So if you adopt Oranda Nadeshko, you're going to get everything that's related to this character. So if you're a new streamer or if you're on a pretty tight budget and you can't commission out multiple people to make all the things that you need, I'm hopefully going to help with that. This is going to be the model. I'm basically following the similar business model I had with Yumi Musabime, my previous character. She ended up being a foster fail, so I decided to keep her. But Oranda here, she is definitely going to become an adoptable. I don't know how much she's going to be yet, but we'll see how it goes once I start making all the rest of the assets. But that's just kind of the gist of what's going on today. We're just going to be working on her, getting as much as we can within the span of a couple hours done. I don't expect to finish everything by the time we end the session today. This is just I just so happened to be working on it and I pushed the go live button, you know? So we're just gonna hang out, relax, put me in the background if you want. Just make sure to let me know that you're gonna lurk. But yeah, without further ado, grab my pen and let's get started, because I kind of get into the zone pretty thoroughly once I get into my work. So I'm probably not going to be super responsive to, comments, but I will try to respond as much as I can. And of course, Pom Pom is right here. She can still take some TTS messages, so make the bean speak if you need to speak for yourself. So, anyways, let's get started on this thing. I've been talking way too much. Let's get going. Alright. So... I already need a drink of water. Artists are like plants. You gotta keep them hydrated. Speaking of plants, this girl... Guess I can talk about the various themes of Oranda Nadeshko. I talked about it briefly, what her inspirations were, but basically, Oranda Nadeshko is a human form of Carnation up here. My pink beanie baby that I made a little model of, this was a precursor to this. So, if her color scheme is very similar, that's extremely deliberate. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with how this concept's gonna go. You know what? I actually have the art here. Basically, here we go. So I play a mobile game called Love Nikki Dress Up Queen, and this is like a whale account, so I have like thousands upon thousands of, it's a dress up game, so you have all these clothing items and accessories and animal parts, and I got to brainstorming on all these clothing pieces, and I eventually came out to having this. I like it a lot, and I wanted to try to recreate this into a VTuber model in my personal style, because I cannot draw with this level of detail, let's be real. But I think I got pretty close with the bangs a little bit. And of course, she's not a human. This character's not going to be a human. She's a cat girl, so she's not going to have human ears. Of course, the blue eyes are there. Some colorings and some spots are going to change just to reference back to Carnation more. But yeah. There might be some design liberties, just because my art style is a little bit more limited compared to this one. But this is what we're shooting for. So I just wanted to point that out first before we got too ahead of ourselves. And speaking of, the first thing I wanted to do was redraw her cat ears. Because I've made these, this is my pre-built Mane-chan base body. And on that base body were cat ears. The cat ears and tail. You can actually see it down here. But I went back and watched everything, and I noticed that the cat ears are not really drawn correctly. Let me hide the bangs. Where's the bangs? I need to label this correctly so I can actually know see what I'm doing. But yeah, I don't think I drew these ears correctly. So what I'm going to do is the first order of business is that I'm going to go back through and try to remake these. So while I'm working, again, you're welcome to come and go as you please. This is just more of a lo-fi stream. Just kick back, relax, enjoy the music. Have me on in the background if you want. If you want to talk, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. So this is just going to be a nice, chill, lo-fi session. So just sit back and enjoy. So let's get started. I will most likely be rambling about my thoughts, so don't worry about that. Main thing I need to fix is depth of the ears. I'm also going to try to not zoom as much so you guys don't get any motion sickness. Should be good. And then I also do have not only Carnation's model here, I also do have the color palette that I used to work on Carnation before, but I am going to go and color pick from here so I can get that inner ear color. Oh, you know what? The ears need to be fluffy. The ears have a furry texture, so if we look at Carnation a bit closer, I want the parts of Oranda's body that are still like cat form to have this fluffy texture that I drew here. So like little scraggly, little short, fluffy. I need to recreate this, so I just gotta remember to do that. So let's do that real quick. And the symmetry tool is turned on, so we'll be able to do what we need to do. I'm gonna make this with red so I can actually see what I'm doing. get too wild. Could be softer. Actually, you know what? The spikes could be smaller. That's the thing. Yeah, it definitely could be smaller. And I'm noticing too, if whenever I look down, I'm gonna be drawing with my eyes closed, so I apologize. Unfortunately, I tried to fix it earlier, but there's no fancy way, clean way to do this. So I don't know how to fix my camera to do that. So whenever I draw, I'm just gonna be... whenever I look down, I'm just gonna be half asleep. So don't mind me. Don't mind me. Just know that I'm still here and I'm still working. Just... we're all chill here. That's better. Color pick this outline color again. Lost it. There we go. Yeah, better idea. Need a bit of a border to... make it just slightly smaller. It's nice to know that my art programs are working better now. Because back when I was trying to do these art streams, I definitely wasn't getting the desired results with, whatchamacallit, trying to do these, art streams. The reason why I didn't do them as often is because my art programs wouldn't render correctly. But now, it looks like it's doing better. Now, after I got my computer upgrade, everything's definitely better. The trick I often like to do is recolor whatever it is we're coloring. The blending layer. This is Photoshop, by the way. Color it with a blending layer. Get rid of that for a second. And then go into here and we're able to do this. And it looks like we're just coloring it red. But when we take off the blend layer, it will be a lovely shade of pink. Lovely shade of pink, as the world intended it. That's starting in a couple minutes. Not a problem. Especially if you're subbed, you don't have to worry about that. I mean, this is going to be a slow stream anyway, so what are you missing, really? I'm pretty excited with how this model's going to turn out. This model's another personal one to me, just because it's based off of a childhood toy rather than just a fully original character. In fact, I've attempted to make Carnation into a human before, but in the past, her design was a little different from this one. Like, that one had blonde hair, like a big fluffy furry collar around her neck, but I think some of her design elements went into other characters, like her hair. Look, now that I look back on it, it's very similar to Yumi's. I would not be surprised if I somehow made that connection. Alright, let's see if I can... Let's see if I can reuse this color block. Yeah, we can do that. Color it with this off pink. Not quite white, not quite pink. Yeah, that's nice. It always looks better once it starts mixing together. Better cohesion. So the next tricky part is the ear fronts. Oh, what am I talking about? No, it's not. No, it's not. What do I mean? So what I'm gonna try to do is take the ear front and we're going to make it so that it's gonna get clipped into the ear when we take it into Live 2D Cubism. The whole thing will, like, you can actually kind of see it a little better. So this line and the coloring that sits here, that's going to be an alpha layer that's going to get clipped on top of this ear. I just have to make sure that when I take this into Live 2D, that the line art of the ears remains separate from the color, so that when I go to clip this part into the ear, that it doesn't obstruct any of the line art behind it. At least I think that's how it's gonna work, but we shall see. Get that darker outline again. We don't need the, oops, we don't need the off-white. turn this off so we can see what we're doing. Ooh, we might need to fill in those gaps there. It's actually not a hard thing to do. We can... basically... go like... well... that should be okay. Should be alright. If anything, the... no, I know what needs to be done. It's this part of the ear is going to get clipped to this inner portion. That's what we're dealing with. Okay. I'm looking at my YouTube broadcast and I look so weird. I want to fix that so bad, but I don't know how. I don't want to break anything live on camera. At some point, I want to try to figure out how to get the... like, if my thing was up higher, maybe. I'm, like, trying to sit lower, just so that I'm not looking down as much. I can't get my chair to go down any lower. We're just gonna have to live with it. Oh well. Or maybe I can sit back a little. Doesn't seem to... No, it still does. It still does. I just have to live with it. Oh well. Because the solution that I've somewhat found to making this work is very, very cursed. So I don't think it would assist us at this moment. Oh, wouldn't this be fluffy too? It would be. It would be fluffy. Alright, let's fix it then. The red back. Let's see if we can make another fluffy edge. That works. Yeah, I like it. And we'll just put that, get rid of that, make that. Kind of extend that past the border of the ear there. And basically now what we're gonna do is make a mask of pink. Put the same. It's gonna look bad, but I promise this has a purpose. I really hope this does what I want it to. that little portion up there, I need to smooth that part out so it's... like that. Yeah. Erase this bit up here. Yeah, just so that edge is a little nicer. I think I'm gonna try to glue some of this in Live 2D at some point. So... I'm trying to see if I can like do this without looking down. Kinda working. I also have to make sure not to leave my mouth agape while I'm drawing too, because I tend to do that. I tend to make funny faces whenever I draw. I don't know why. It's like similar logic to when you're trying to put on makeup, where like you'll contort your face trying to get the right angle and get all those cracks and crevices. Something like that. At least make the mask look good, and then... Alright, this is gonna look funny, but this is going to do exactly what I want it. So now, I can show when we bring it down here and add the mask. Obviously this won't be visible. This part of the ear won't be visible, but as you can see, the mask hides that portion of the ear. And the logic is that once we merge these two parts of the ear together, you'll be able to add that clipping mask into Live 2D, and this will disappear. Which is neat. Ear... what do I call this? Ear angle? Keep it grouped together, just in case. In fact, I'll turn off the colors for now, just so that we don't get confused. Should I add the inner fluff? Should I add an inner fluff? That is the question of the day. When I look at my Beanie Baby carnation, she doesn't have anything like that in her ears. They're just plain triangular ears. My little sweet cutie, tootie, sweet as a fruity. Yeah, I guess I can add like a little tuft of fur in there, because she's definitely coming out fluffier than what she was before. We can make something work. Get the ear inner. We're just gonna work off of that. There we go. We're not going to specifically use this. We're just going to use this as like a base for the shape. But what color would it be? What color would this be? Would I just make it the off-white, like in the inner ear? Or do I make it pink, like the rest of it? I'll try both. I'll try both and see how it looks. We'll do pink first, but if it's too much, I'll make it white. Let me just do something like, I don't know. Like this, maybe? Shrug? I don't know. It looks like I missed a spot down here. Did I? Yeah, I definitely did. I think I caught that. Extend the color down there a little bit more. Yeah. Already looking cute. Do I want to keep this pink or do I want this white? Here, let's turn this off so we can see the whole inside. Close up the shape and then we can make our final decision. Oh, well, actually, no. Gotta leave some parts of this. Well, how much of this is gonna get blocked by the hair? That's another important question. Oh. Right, a lot. You know what? Maybe I don't need that inner floof after all. Just shade it really nicely and call it a day? I'll leave it like that for a bit. Yeah, too much fluff. Alright, I think that's the ears taken care of for now. And we'll turn off the... Ooh. Ah, it's okay. I'll flip it. I was about to say, ooh, I did not finish that other side. Not symmetrical. But, we'll just flip it. When we're ready to render it, we'll just flip all the pieces. Everything's symmetrical here on this model. 'Tis fine. Her face is relatively simple, so we're just gonna leave that alone for a bit. Next thing we gotta deal with is the rest of her hair. I'm pretty sure this is part of her bangs too, but I did not manage to execute that very well. So let's see. Like this second portion of bangs back here is supposed to be, but let's see if we can make that a little better. Let's get rid of the cat ear so we can focus on this. Actually, you know what? Let's make this transparent so that we can see what we're doing. Because I tend to have a problem with making things too fluffy or too big and puffy. So I gotta watch out for that. So... sit up a bit. Fix my lumbar seat thing. There we go. Here. What if I did this? Use red to make my alterations. Go like... We definitely need that... Whoops. Definitely need some kind of depth in there. I don't think this necessarily. Sakura, hello! You're a clean streamer. Relatively. I mean, this is definitely one of my lower key streams today. But yeah, working on a Vtuber model. If you're wondering like clean as in safe for work, then yes. if that answered that question correctly. That's cool. Yeah. We all chill here. Like this base body model, I designed that outfit for a reason. Try to make it as like Twitch friendly as possible while still showing off enough of the anatomy. Too stiff. Right? Is that right? It's nice, thank you. I just started work. Like, I just got home from my vacation, and it's like one of the first things I'm working on. So, basically taking a Love Nikki Dress Up Queen concept and converting it into my art style. So, trying to figure out this dang part of her hair. Which, I guess now that I'm looking at it, this pop out is supposed to come out lower. Let's see. This is probably... How many models have I done so far? I've only rigged for about a year now, starting in November. Let's see, I did 1.0 personal model, 2.0, 3.0, which is this one. And then there's my base body models, Mane-chan and Mane-chan 2.0, which is this model here. Then there's Yumi, which is 6. And then, like, these are all, like, my humanoid characters. Like, I'm not counting, like, Pom-Pom and... Well, I'll count Pom-Pom and Carnation up here. 8? 8 fully rigged models? Which is not bad. Within the span of a year, that's not bad. Like, my simpler art style allows me to finish this stuff faster than normal. So, I'd say that's pretty good. There we go. That looks better. Yeah. It just needs to pop out more. That's what I want to do. Okay. What if I did... Also, again, I apologize. My eyes look weird while I draw. It's just the way it is. Just every time I look down at my tablet, sometimes my eyes go all the way shut, and I cannot fix that because that was the way I rigged them. There we go. Something like that. Vacation, cool, yeah. Went to Florida for a week. A big birthday trip. Yeah, that's better. And then fitness is cool. Yeah, I definitely need to get into that. I just turned 30, so I definitely need to pay more attention to that. Gots to do that. Drink more water and stuff. Flip that up and hold down this edge. Drink a cup as soon as you wake up. There you go. Had a nice tall glass of orange juice with my eggs this morning. It's the way to be. Yeah, that's good layering. Sharpen this edge a little bit. There we go. Yep. Let's see, move up here. Try to recycle this line art for... Come on. Get in there. Whoops. Gotta get those lines nice and straight. There we go. Let's see, and then we can get this merged into here. And basically just extend the coloring into the new areas. Add my... Fix the outline again. Alright, let's get this color in and then we'll be good. There's always something soothing about the coloring portion of some projects. I like getting into the little nitty-gritty details. Of course, for some parts I gotta erase. Getting that little crack there. There we go. Mm-hmm. And you know I'm like neck deep into stuff like this if I'm already thinking about the next project. Ugh, I need water. Like, I'm so far deep into this stuff that I'm already thinking about the next model I want to do after this character's finished. Like, I'm so like into the next character. I might even work on that one simultaneously alongside this one, just to like get a little bit of a head start. Because it's a character that I'm quite proud of, concept-wise. Very cool. Probably will end up being another adoptable, but who knows? That may not be for a couple months from now. Okay, let's turn on the other... Oops, turn this back up full opacity. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I like this layering. I do like this layering. What I can do, though, is take this third group. Where is it? Is it this one? Bring it down a tiny bit. Yeah. Messy, but cute. Scruffy. Makes sense, because the Beanie Baby she's based off of this little kitty up here. A little scruffy. Old. And that's just the bangs. The body of her hair I haven't even got to yet. And hopefully it's simpler to work on. Let's see. Let's compare. Yeah. Yeah, it just comes down and flares out a little bit towards the bottom. Like, most of the action is in the bangs. Or, quote-unquote, bangs. But, yeah. Pretty good, pretty good. And let's do the hair then. Back of the hair. Label accordingly, so that you don't lose track of anything. Do my... There we go. So now I just go in and make just a simple... No. Let's see. The line is very fine here to prevent me from making her look like Mute Ichigo from Tokyo Mew Mew. So I gotta be careful about that. Oh, you know what? I should probably do this in front of the head so I can see better. Get up a little closer. I always do that. Like, I always tend to draw diagonally. Add a little bump there. Holy cow, we've been at this for an hour already? Sheesh. Time flies, man. Especially when you're working on art projects. You always gotta remember to pace yourself. Well, let's do the body of the hair first. Let's do something like... You're probably not gonna see the back of the hair very much. No. Do something like this. Nah. What's my reference? You, Scooch. I need to see what I'm doing. So it just goes... You know what? It really is that simple, isn't it? It really do be that simple. Okay. Back up a little so I can get the full view. Her hair is going to be relatively short, like shoulder length anyway, but... So we just do... You know what? It really is that simple. Let me just do that. Oh. Get that right swoop. I always have problems with this. Like this. That edge there usually tends to be not sharp enough. fix that now. And we go swoop. See, you get those shapes better when you say swoop. The swoop makes everything better. Pro artist tips. One things that I tend to do is make hair look a little bit more full. I'll do this initial backing of the hair, and then come back with a second one, so that when I did it with my hair too, where you can see like the inner portion of the hair that's more shaded, and the left and right sides of my hair are more split off. I'm gonna try to do something similar here, just so that there's some depth to her. So where is that hair back one? I'll probably label it accordingly, just so I don't miss anything. Get any straight ends. And then we get the top of her head here. Oh, this is my least favorite part. Can't get that edge quite right. Come on, I believe. I believe. Alright, that's good enough. And then... Hello, Megatron. Yeah, just chilling out. Drawing some pictures. Let's see, let's do this. We'll make this cyan, so that we can still see what we're doing. And then we do a second layer. Not as sharp, but still has a little bit of depth. Like, it's implied that when she's moving around, that you'd be able to see this. And just do some kind of, I don't know. I don't know. Something. No, too raggedy. Too raggedy. Do you stream? Yes, I will. Try checking tomorrow on the server? Yeah. For sure. We're all just chill here. Here, let's see. This back portion doesn't have to be any longer. I just figured that this would look a little nicer with some depth in it. Honestly, my other character, Yumi, ended up having quite a few hair layers, so I wouldn't be surprised if this one gets it too. Get those little bird edges. And just, yeah, you know what? Blunt edge, why not? Blunt edge, it's implied that it's... implied that there's more volume in the back. I kind of cheated and did this with my hair too. Yeah, I'll take it. And then try to make a full shape out of it to make coloring a little easier. Very good. So now when we take this behind the head, we'll see how this looks. Oh, gotta put it behind that body too. Yeah. It's a start. I might alter it as we go, but at the start. If anything, I'll lower it a little, because this puff is up too high. Like about yay there. Let's just move my margin line there. Meh. Yeah, it's doing something. See if I can add some more depth to this hair. This first layer specifically, because this is probably going to be the part that you've seen the most. Maybe we can add a window. See the open air through the hair? This gives it a little bit more depth. The shape is too wavy. You know what? That needs to go out more. Whoosh, you know? You gotta whoosh it more. You guys are gonna learn my vocabulary soon enough. My artist vocabulary. Out more and like up higher. Especially now that the... Oh. Come on. You know what? Forget that. Just raise these two back up again. Raise these two back up here. It keeps her hair relatively short, but we gotta bump this down. That is my solution. That is my solution, yes. We'll do that. Then we go this, and boop. Just do this as eloquently as possible. Better. A little better. Just gotta... kinda even this out a little. Sometimes my lines are just not smooth enough. Alright, that should be fine. And then, for coloring, always important to label your everything when you're making VTuber models. You're gonna end up with hundreds of layers, and eventually you're not gonna know where they go. Just another tip. so I recolored this to the hyper magenta, so we should be able to see where this goes. And now we color again. Just follow the lines. Oops. With how much progress I make with the... with how slow I am, actually, with these art streams, maybe next time I'll start doing them in the morning. Start them at like 10 a.m. or something. Or maybe like 12. Because I'm definitely going to be doing like at least 3 hours. 3 hours is definitely a short time when it comes to art streams, so giving myself more time in the day will make more progress live on camera. Because at some point I thought, oh, maybe it'll be fun to make an edited video based on this. And I'm like, it's like a headache to get the thing rendered. Because I have to open up Streamlabs to get that to happen, and sometimes I just don't have the drive. And plus, my workflow is not as smooth or efficient, so I'd probably end up with like 8-hour recordings. And that's not good for my computer storage. So I think I'm content with just... maybe I'll record the rigging section. Like, not in this like stream overlay setting, but in a proper recording setting. Okay. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Very nice. Now we do the second portion. Color 2. We'll do all the shading towards the end. For those curious. Go red. It's probably a little easier on the eyes. Let's see. So I know this is a close shape, but sometimes... oh, you know what? This is a close shape. There's a trick that I like to do with closed off shapes like this. It's... take the line art, select it, make a reverse selection, and then you can do the paint bucket. But instead of stopping there, you do click it again, and you go down into this area and you make a layer mask, and you do filter. Here, let me zoom in. See how there's a little bit of a line there? There's like some bleeding from the paint bucket. You do minimum, it goes away. It recedes the edge of whatever it is you're add the layer to, and it goes away. And it's a near perfect mask all around the edge. If it's something like a sharp point, like in a corner, it'll have some trouble and you have to go in and fix it. But just apply layer mask and bada boom. Of course, this one will probably have to be shaded just to... you know what? This hair back can probably Pulled down a little just so you can see that. Make a layer folder, hair back. Yeah, look at that. Cute. Nice and fluffy. Fluffy like my little beanie baby. Perfect. Alright, that's a good start. The hair is always the hardest part for me for some reason, just because I don't know if I have like proper anatomy of the head, like the hairline. But for some reason the hairline I always struggle with. Especially with this one's a little bit more challenging because this one doesn't have traditional human ears. So you have to design this face to be able to get away with not having human ears, but also kind of make it look natural by blocking that part of the head, because it's a bald spot basically. You know what? I'm probably gonna... Ooh, I cannot do that. Yeah, I can't do that. Okay. That is literally the top of the head right there, and I cannot do that. Okay. It'll just be like that. Which is fine. Which is fine. I'll just render it later. Her cheeks are just not going to be as visible. 'Tis fine. Alright. So, I don't have to make any jewelry for her. Her makeup's already on. Perfect. Although I might go back and change her eyelashes later, but... 'tis not the priority. I think the next thing that I want to make is actually her tail. Her cat tail. Because I have an idea of how fluffy I want to make it. I want to work with that while that's fresh in my mind. Cat tail. And an idea that I have is it's going to be a proper, like, the classic skinned tail where it's going to sway back and forth. And I'm going to set a toggle to have it flip upwards. So she will have her fluffy, toggleable tail. So like her base of her little tail booty. Lower my thing, and then it's about... make the shape of the tail first. Yep. That's the basic shape of the tail, and then just... it looks worse than it actually is, but I promise you it is nothing. Oh, actually, I made it. I should make that base of the tail match with... yeah, that's okay if the tail's longer than what the original was. This is just like a placeholder for where the base of the tail is. At the base of the body. So now we go over and we just make that same fluffy texture that we did with the ears. Which look a lot better now that we have all the... now that we have the hair fully set in there. Looks so much better. Those ears are gonna look great, I promise. And I definitely don't need those inner pieces. Cattail ref. Cat tail. There we go. Let's make this thing, shall we? It's gonna take a bit of a process to get through, but basically we're just gonna follow the same process as I did with Carnation's Vtuber model, which is like Still that kind of irregular looking. So just kind of some going in the opposite direction. Just nice and... Because I'm not going to render the fur on the inside. I'm going to keep it relatively cell shaded, excuse me. How it's going to be shaded is that the edge of the tail, it'll have its edge, so... There we go. Just a little further. There we go. Get rid of the ref and see how it looks. This definitely needs to be compressed down a bit because the texture got smaller as it went down. So let's fix that. Also, how annoying is it that my eyes are they keep closing as my model looks down? How bad is it? Because it's like, I genuinely don't know how to fix that. I'm trying to like look up at my camera as much as possible, but I don't think that's helping, like, at all. That's a little better, I think. Just a little. Thin this out a little. And get rid of the ref. Yeah. It's better. Definitely better. Okay. I am satisfied. Then we'll get rid of the ref, add the color, do the same technique that we did before with the minimum. It's going to be a little tricky here just because of the edges. But thankfully everything is symmetrical, so we can just go in and fix it later. And... oh, wait. Nah, it'll probably render out. And minimum. Apply mask, and then we just gotta go in and manually fix whatever it didn't. Usually tends to be. I had to do this quite a bit with my carnation model just because there were so many edges along her fur. My sweet baby needed a little bit of fixing. There we go. Some tidying up. Probably a little bit of ASMR, just you can probably hear my keyboard going, right? There we go. Tail's all rendered. So now we can put this behind the body. Like that. Can't see it from here, but when it starts wagging, you'll be able to see it. So that'll do. That'll definitely do. You know what? It maybe needs to go in front of the hair. Yeah, go in front of the back of the hair. So that when it's raised up, you can still see it wagging around. Yep. Yep. So we don't need those tails anymore. I think we can do a rough on the clothes now. Like, this model's actually this model's coming together a lot quicker than I thought. Maybe just because she's a bit simpler, technically. Like, the most difficult parts are already finished. It's just the dress. The dress, and I think this is supposed to be like a little sweater, like a cover over top. Then this is good. This part here, where it's like a neck piece, that is gonna be colored silver, because on the original Beanie Baby, Carnation's color is a bright, like, glittery silver. And then on the gloves, she has white paws, so those will stay white, and then these will be pink, and we'll just get rid of the bow. And then these shoes down here, the colors are basically going to be swapped, where the fluffy part is going to be pink, and this portion here is going to be white. Again, because she's got white pawsies. Cute little white pawsies. She's got white toe beans. But anyway. And then she has pink tights. So, yeah. I already have a layer set for the outfit ref. So we might as well start using it. Let's see. Let's start with the bodice of the dress first. Outfit, ref, dress. And then outfit, ref, outer, which is the cardigan. So it's a simple, just one of these swoop up tops. Very simple, very classy. And looks like the waist stops at about here. Yeah, waist stops right about there. Right. Model, you need to move. And then the skirt, just above the knee, looks like. This is a multi-layered skirt, so this is gonna have too flat. Yeah, that looks good. And then we just gotta do a couple of layers. These will be rendered as separate layers in a minute. This is just for rough concept. And then nah. Keep the skirt rendering simple. Yeah, keep it simple. And then you make a copy of this. And you do that. Hello, Brave. Welcome, welcome. Just keeping it chill today. Rendering out some of my new character for a bit. hanging out, chilling with the vibes. What's going on up here? Ah, that's what's going on up here. I sound sleepy? More like, yeah, I'm just chill. I am sleepy, but I am just chill. Just keeping it nice and relaxed. Although it doesn't help that whenever I look down at my drawing pad, my eyes close every time. That's just the fault of either my thick eyebrows or just the lighting in my room is above my head. So whenever I lower my head, the shadows probably think my eyes are closed. Papa, yeah! The bean is well.
Pog online poggers.
Things are poggers, apparently.
Corona, I thought you banned him already, come on.
Come on. That's all good. So let's render this. Extra skirt layer here. And then, because this is going to be, this is the ref, by the way, of what I'm doing. I finished the hair on the girl, and then I'm working on the dress neck currently. So these are all roses here. These are all going to be replaced by carnation flowers. Like the soft white ones with the pink tinge. Yeah, cat girl. This is the cat girl that's based off of Carnation that I was mentioning before. At least I think I mentioned it before. This is Oranda Nadeshko, who is the next adoptable character that I'm working on right now. But yeah. We just finished rendering her head, hair, and tail. So we're just rendering the dress. But yes, she is a cat girl. Typical VTuber things, but she is based on a childhood toy, which makes her different. I thought it was gonna be like a boar. Huh? I guess her name doesn't really tie back to an animal at all. Her name it's literally just carnation, but in kanji. So, I think I talked about it before. Her name, Oranda Nadeshko. The first part of her name is Oranda, which in kanji is literally Holland or the Netherlands. So, Oranda and then Nadeshko, which is a common Japanese name, that's a pink, often a shade of pink, though my research specified it as a Dutch pink, which actually kind of makes sense. So Oranda Nadeshko is a Dutch pink flower from the Netherlands. And guess where carnations are from? So carnations are Dutch pink flowers. Like, this name is like super creative and I love it. Canada? No. But yeah, carnations are the primary theme of this character. She's got a pink floral theme, and that's going to be pretty much all throughout the model. You know what? I can raise up this. Probably raise up the waistline on this dress a little more. Like that. Yeah, looks good. This is just a rough layout of some of the outfit's elements, so this is not a final rendering. This is just something that I can start with for the moment. Have I done Nord Stream since I've upgraded my PC? I have not. This is my first one. And I gotta say, my computer is performing a lot better than it used to. That's for sure. That is for dang sure. Alright, so I need to... want to ask how the PC's holding up. It's holding up pretty well from as far as I can see. Like, CPU is still holding up, GPU, I don't think is even suffering at all. So I think it is doing alright. So I need to render these fluffy shoes. Because the fluffiness of these shoes is more reminiscent of sheep's wool. Well, I want these shoes to look more like cat fur. So I don't know how this is gonna render. I don't know how this is gonna look. The outline of the sock here is reminiscent of what I want, so we're just gonna ride with it and see. This is gonna be so cursed. Glad so much better. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. PC upgrade was definitely a must need. Now we need to do it's a flat pump. Make sure I render this properly. I'll figure that out later. No, I'll figure it out now. I don't think I'm gonna keep these ribbons here. I don't know. A lot of this stuff I'm probably gonna deal with later. This is just getting the rough idea on the table. Triple the ribbons? No. Triple the ribbons would be a bit too much. Make 4 times as big. Oi, brother. Alright, and then we can... kind of making like fluffy cat tufts. Heard of Ni no Kuni? Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch came out right around the time I was still working at GameStop. So I have a little bit semblance of what it is. Heavily Miyazaki inspired. I saw you were playing it the other day. I didn't get a chance to watch, but I've heard alright things about it. It's not the... Apparently it's like alright, but it still has that Miyazaki style that a lot of people appreciate. Let's see, make a fluffier tufts here. Gotta work on me, responded and missed what you said. Oh, Ni no Kuni. I remember when it launched back when I was at GameStop. There were some people that were excited about it, but once that hype fell off, it basically fell off. like I don't remember any news about that game after that. Like, it was... But I've heard it's alright from people who like the game. I'm just gonna keep this flat. You just started it and pleased so far. Good. It's important for you to like a game when you're trying to play through it. Because if not, you get over it very quickly. 30 minutes into the story, it gets really dark. Not surprised. if the art style is like very Miyazaki, and knowing the tones that those movies can go sometimes, not surprised. You don't like Studio Ghibli? They know how to hurt? Really? Is it the way that they animate their stuff or something? I don't know. Like, I personally have never watched a Studio Ghibli movie just because I've never had the opportunity. But, no, they're great. Okay. Okay. Thank goodness. Thank goodness we're not going to set fires around here. The vibes are too chill to set fires. Saw Howl's Moving Castle. Howl's Moving Castle is like the popular one next to My Neighbor Totoro. That and Kiki's Delivery Service. I remember seeing ads for that when I was a kid. Yep. That's good. And then the... No, hang on. Add a bit more volume over on this side. I think what I like about the Miyazaki movies the most, I love how they render the food. Like, every time I see clips from Miyazaki movie, oh boy, I always get hungry. After they turn the witch old, and they show her on the rocking chair in her own world. Aww. Oh, that's right. No, yeah, because that witch, the witch that aged Sophie, she was kind of like in a little, like when she aged significantly, she was kind of in her little Delulu world because she wanted Howl for herself, right? I only know like a brief synopsis of the story. I know what happens, but it's like a brief synopsis. I don't know like the tiny nitty-gritty details. Go back down here. Try to finish these shoes. She just looked really innocent and vulnerable. Ah. Yeah. That's kind of the... She looks sweet and innocent, but she was still a villain. She was still the witch, so you had to keep your guard up. But at the end, she was able to redeem herself. Just because she was able to let Howl go and let Sophie have him. All people are innocent. For the most part, yeah. That's like the general, like in media, that's the general theming of that. we go. Fill that out a little. And now for the coat, the outer lining, which starts from the neck piece here. It's kind of pointed downwards pretty sharply. That. Bup, bup, and bup. Again, this is going to be painted silver instead of pink. Because on Carnation's little model up here, in fact, here she is right here. Carnation, the Beanie Baby, she has a little silver collar, so most of her color scheme's going to be coming from the Beanie Baby. And then we've got fluffy details. Maybe not that big. There we go. There we go, and then we do same down here. How'd you draw? Oh, I drew both sides at the same time. Photoshop has a symmetry tool. Oh, you can't see the windows, but in Photoshop, there is a button up here for symmetry. Can't see the drop-down menu, but this blue line here is what appears when you turn on symmetry. So it's super helpful for creating more symmetrical models like this. Now look at that. I like that signature already. It's pretty elegant. Although for some reason it reminds me of Amy Rose. Why does it remind me of Amy Rose? Oh well. Oh well. Pull up the collar a little bit maybe. Obviously this will be hidden under her neck. And then and this goes here. Like, it's gonna be interesting trying to render this part out. Oh, Amy Rose, the impact she's had. Oh yeah. How many people have realized something about themselves once they started liking certain Sonic characters? Alright, this looks like it's a bit of a... So it's just under the breast, looks like. So we'll... Well, not that. Okay, good. Amen. Amen, brother. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You were able to avoid... I was hit on by someone who cosplayed as Amy Rose last year. Huh? Sonic community, man. I don't know. Very strange. There we go. Then we do... Can't see it on that side. It was flattered though. Yeah, I mean... You gotta appreciate what you got, right? So this is gonna be a bit more of a floral pattern. I suck making these swirly, curvy patterns by hand. So we're gonna see how well this goes. you know what? That's not bad. Yeah, Beans, join the conversation. How we doing today? Nice and chill. Nice and chill drawing stream today. It's Drawtober. It is. Wait, I just realized today is the first day of October. Oh, right. Work's been something last. Oh, I can imagine. Hopefully all the audit meetings haven't been too crazy. It's been mid-80s this week, and it's kind of, ooh. Yeah. I've been trying to get into the job hunting cycle again, because I need to. It's not been great so far. I haven't had any luck, but... Hat! Hello! Hello, hello. Welcome to the chill vibes. Portal 2 tomorrow? Yes! But Rose... Gonna finally play Portal for the first time. Do I add ribbing? Yeah, I'll render the ribbing. I responded to Hatmas. Listen, that's how, like, in outer space I am. So, I think this is the reason why my art streams don't perform as well, just because I don't respond to my chat as well as I should. Alright, and then she's got a thing here. In space, no one can hear you, Hat. Yeah. You can't hear a lot of things in space. Is there music? Only Rainbow Road. With a common observatory. Yeah, this hits right at the elbow. So we do... something like that. Don't have headphones, so I can't hear it. Of course. 24-hour stream next Friday. Ooh. Exciting. I'll definitely hop on that stream and bug you at some point. I have a fan on because Texas 90 feels like 100. Yikes. No, I do not miss... I do not miss the Florida humidity. I'll tell you what. Like my mom and I, we got into our house for the first time. Or like, no, we stepped out of the plane once we landed back in California for the first time in a week. And we're like, oh, we're not sweating, we're not dripping. Like, my skin doesn't feel like a leather again. So, I do not miss the humidity. Like, and by the time we had left Florida, right before we left, I think they were expecting a, whatchamacallit, they were expecting a couple of tropical storms to pass through, a couple of hurricanes, so we got lucky. That would have dampened any of the plans that we would have had. Fahrenheit always throws me off. Oh, right. Celsius. What Celsius uses. Fahrenheit? Isn't that David Cage game? Are you Celsius? Oh, brother, guys. Shorten these. Make them match the... No. I'm not a coward. I can do this. Let's see. Just gotta make them smaller. No. something like this. This is like a rough... This is the roughing phase of the clothes. So this is not going to be the final look. I'm not liking how that ruffle looks. We'll probably do the same. We'll do a similar floral pattern as we did on the bodice. Shrink it down. Ooh, some nice... Yeah, turn it up a bit. Some nice ambient music right now. I am so chill. Yeah, that works. Okay. And this will probably have lateral lines in it too. Something like that. Down the line. This is a very rough rendering. Do I want to add that bow? Do I want to add that bow? Weird, lol. I mean, I don't know if how... No, I don't think that came off as rude. It was more of like a teehee Fahrenheit versus Celsius. 'Tis a big world out there. Yeah, I'll add the bow. Hey, yeah, look at that. Just back up a little and look at her a bit. Like, I punish myself accordingly. Oh boy. Yeah, this is a nice render so far. Obviously, I can't take off the body-chan parts yet. The base body clothes, just for TOS sake. But I like this so far. 2 hours in, it's actually not bad progress. In that 2 hours, we rendered the ears. We rendered the remainder of the bangs and the hair. We got the tail in the back. We'll keep going for a little longer, though. I've still got the energy. How much longer, I don't know, but... And then we'll probably continue this little scallop pattern on this second layer of skirt. If we want things to look the same. So let's get rid of these lines. No, king, never belittle thyself. Never belittle thyself. Have to be off. Enjoy. Thank you for stopping by, Brave. I will be here in my own little world.
Portugal to Google Translate Edition.
Yes. The Portal stream I'm actually looking forward to, because I've watched Portal Let's Plays for years, and I've never got a chance to properly play the game myself. Despite my brother having an Xbox, he never got Portal. He was just never into it. So, it'll be fun to play Portal. Did you watch the recent Portal stream? I did not get to, unfortunately. But hopefully it was just as chaotic as I expected it to be. Because the multiplayer in Portal 2, it's gonna be glorious. We can sabotage each other, work together. Missed the part where it glitched out and props fell into the world? Oh, really? Hopefully they didn't... Did you have to restart the game? Because that sounds like you'd have to restart the game just to get that to fix. I beat the game through the sheer force of will. At what point did that happen? Was it at GLaDOS? Towards the end and at GLaDOS. Oh, yikes. Yeah. Given how that part of the game is pretty important, that's actually kind of funny. Because you have to rip those cores off of GLaDOS and then you gotta dump them in the fire. GLaDOS's cores would fall through, but I figured out how to abuse it. Which is interesting because aren't there a couple of those cores that are like they spawn in like deliberate locations? Like I know one of them is like one of them gets like stuck on the ceiling and you have to use like portals to get up to it and grab it. Finished the game in under an hour. Wow. Yeah, I forget, the original Portal game is not that long. It's definitely not a long game. Portal 2, I know, is a little longer, but only like, what, 3 hours? So, yeah. Portal 1 would be like a nice little romp. Used to speedrun it. 5 hours. Okay. That is what I thought. I don't know how long the multiplayer one is, though. I'm actually looking forward to it. Okay, let's get the... I just like all of the lore implications in Portal. Like, they hide quite a bit of the story in plain sight. Like with the Ratman stuff and the take your daughter to work day stuff. Opens it up a lot to discussion. I think that's what made me like the game so much. It was very simple at face value. But if you dig a little deeper, there's more complexities to it. Yeah, that looks cute. That extra little trim around the edge. And then attached to that trim... Same writer for Half-Life Alyx. I believe it. I believe it. You know what? Let's move this under the head so that the layering... Yeah, that neck is gonna need some work, but... first initial pass isn't bad. Like, taking this Carnation jump scare, like taking this and turning it into this. It's actually not bad so far. Like, she's coming together very quickly. And thankfully, it's because she's a simpler design. Like, Yumi took longer just because I struggled with some of her color scheme. Because she had a rainbow colors of all her ribbons and trims and stuff. Ah! Cat! Ah! But, sorry, what was my thought? Oh, yeah. Oranda Nadeshko is definitely going to be a bit simpler. Like, I think her most complicated parts is actually going to be the flowers. They're going to drape along her skirt here. Because I gotta make it look good while also not being too busy. Because if you look at the original, you can see it's kind of like a wreath, like a garland or wreath of flowers. I also gotta add little petals to this little outer section too. We're about to stream, so come invade if you feel like it. Yeah, I'll come over in a little bit. I'll probably draw for a little bit longer, and then I'll come hang out. Send you guys over there. Yeah, and then I gotta add like little, looks like little baubles around the edges of the sweater. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to make this look good. Because it's not just roses that are in this, there's like some kind of lily in there, or some kind of other flower. So these are all going to be carnations. Just to tie it back to the kitty, the baby, even more. And then at some point I'm going to change the color of her legs, just so that she has the pink tights. But that won't be for a while. Let's fix the neck. Fix the neck while I'm thinking about it. I know I made a choker on my previous character before, but this is just a really easy thing for me to make. Because for me, trying to render characters and trying to rig them, this is just the easiest thing for me. And then there's going to be like a sparkly pattern on that. And then just make the fuzzy pattern without making it look weird. And you know what? No. I thought you could do the scalloped pattern again. But this makes it look like it's, Are those flowers? Like this, like, outer shawl thing is from a different outfit to this dress. Like, this was built from a dress-up game. So, some of this material is technically it's not supposed to match. So I think these are supposed to be flower petals. It's not fur. Lower this line too for a second. Just gonna experiment here for a second. No, that doesn't look good. It's clashing with the fuzzy fur on top. That doesn't look good. fact, raise this up a little. There we go. And then we do that. And that. Can't make it too fluffy without being... Gotta make it look good. There we go. Better? Can't tell. Let it sometimes when I make a edit to a drawing, I gotta back up and let it simmer. Hang on. I gotta let it simmer. Do I like this or do I not like this? Let me move this behind the head. Rid of you. No, yeah. Yeah, I think it's big enough that it's a big fluffy cuff. Yeah. I think it works. I might redo the gloves then, because the gloves just look like a cheap, fluffy thing. Although I might need to raise these sleeves up a little, just because the way I render my arms, those are gonna look weird. These look like cheap costume floofs. Maybe add a tiny bit of silver in there. And then we do... No. I feel like it needs to be more condensed like it is on the shoes. In case you're wondering, no, I am not going to be animating every single strand of hair that I draw. I'm gonna make it look good. Then it's all going to be rigged as one piece. Because as much as I love working on this character, I know for a fact there's going to be a couple parts that I'm going to struggle with. You know what? Maybe if we did have the fur overlap the... Make the fur overlap the cuff there. How's that? And then maybe add one more. And then do... Yeah. better? It's messy, like, as compared to the ears and the feet. And the tail is just as fluffy. Yeah, I think that's good. Just looking back on everything. I won't color anything in just yet, just because this is still a rough rendition. Oh, gotta add the bow. Add the bow as a separate layer. Bow just goes right about there, I think. Yeah, she's coming along pretty nice. I'm happy with her so far. Let's see. Kind of a skinny bow. The Beanie Baby Carnation doesn't have any, like, accessories on her. Like, she's not wearing anything. But I suppose this is making for a nice... Some kind of thing to add movement. So, let me back up and do some experimenting here. Let's see, so... Can't see it from... I'm trying to look at it through Streamlabs, so I'm looking up at you. And I can't see it from that far away. But bow... No bow. Yeah, keep the bow. Like, now that I put it there, it fills that blank space. I definitely need to fill that blank space with something. Because I think I'm gonna keep the dress mostly white. Like, this little shawl thing is gonna be pink, like a soft pink. Like, not as pink as her hair. But I'm gonna keep the dress mostly white. And maybe, like, tinge it with pink. Or maybe the carnations will probably do that. Yeah. And the tights are gonna be pink, because the cat is mostly pink. Do I want to add the bows? Do I want to add the ribbons to them? Yes, I do. Let's see if I can add them. Every time I keep thinking, do I want to? Do I want to? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Let's be real. Yes, I do. So this is just a... So it's 2 thingers and then a bow on the back of the... So it's... Yeah, and then... And then we do 1 more of those, and that'll be good for the feetsies. This has to go a little further over that way, and then... And then... Not my best... Not my best shoe rendering. But this will get refined later. Like, I feel like most of this work will be done off camera. So I want to get this done relatively quickly. But I'm definitely going to be working on some of Oranda's physical, like her graphic pieces, like her overlay and her like social icons. I want to work on that stuff once the art is finished. I'm not gonna rig the model right away. Now I'm just wondering if it's too busy. The way that I drew them, it makes it look too busy. I don't know. Because I don't want to add the bow at the back of the shoe, because I did that with Yumi already. I don't want to repeat design choices, because I don't want it to look too similar. But for a first pass, I think it's a good first pass. Probably do some more refining off camera. Separate proper layers and split them up between the body parts. And of course, proper shading on everything else will be worked on as well. Oh goodness, I need to stretch. Ooh. Shoulder just popped. Stretchy stretch. Ooh. Almost pulled something. Eesh. Alright. You know what? I think I'm satisfied. I didn't think I was gonna go super long. This was just more of a chill session. Just kind of get back into the flow. I was loud. Sorry. That was my left shoulder, so my mic was closest to it. Yeah. Good first start. Good old Oranda Nadeshko. She's on her way. And one of these days, once she is fully finished, she will become an adoptable model. I will put her up for sale this time. Like, unlike Yumi, I will actually make sure that this character goes to a good home. That I promise. Because I only kept Yumi because she was the very first one, and she was like the first proper original character that I ever made as a VTuber model. Oranda, I feel like this one I can let somebody else have, because the proper inspiration for this, I have at home. I have my little kitty at home. I'm snuggling her right now. Sweet babies. But anyway, this is probably a good start for now. If anything, I might keep doing more art streams. I'll probably start them earlier in the day so that I can have more time to record my workflow. And of course, more of this rendering is going to be done off camera because I want to finish this sooner rather than later. Because when I get that itch to draw, I just want to keep drawing. So we're going to cut it off here. We're going to wrap it up for now, but we're going to go raid a friend. Let's go see if Hat saw Hat was live. I saw that. Let's see. Saw Hat was live, but I also saw Brave was live, so let's see what they're doing. Nino Kuni from Brave. Shoutouts to Zancudo Brave. And Hat's doing Stranger of Paradise. Alright. Let's see. I'll send you guys to Brave. Oh my gosh. How am I supposed to pick between my two friends? But I'll go ahead and send you over to Hat Team Epic, good friend of the channel. We're gonna say hello, we're gonna be nice. And hopefully you guys enjoyed today's stream. Nice and chill compared to others. Flip a coin. Hold up. Let me flip a coin. Here, let's do it. Flip a coin. Heads. Okay. Heads was my Hat pick, so we're just gonna go to Hat. Alright. Let's go say hi to Hat. Whoops. So we're gonna get that raid started. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is a nice, just a more relaxing stream than usual. Hopefully I can get back to the swing of things proper, because I feel like this is really the only way I can properly show off my abilities as an artist. So hopefully you all enjoyed, and I will get back to you tomorrow, actually. We're going to be collabing with Hat Team Epic in question to play some Portal 2. So if you enjoyed this today, feel free to follow, keep up with notifications. Make sure to drop a follow at Hat Team Epic as well if you haven't already. And I will see you guys tomorrow with Portal 2. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye!